You see, the Prasivali in the Buddha's time, Prasivali was inside the mother's womb for 7 years, not 7 months, 7 years, right? And before Sivali was born, the minute he's born, there's a lot of auspicious things that happen. And when Sivali was old enough to be ordained as a Samanera, just the knife to shave his head, the first shave only, Sivali become a Arahant. You see? That is to show the accumulation of merit, perfections of Barami, of Prasivali, that has come to a complete penetration in that lifetime. And we can't contest, but we can see the good quality of the Buddha, Prasivali. Why? Because of the Barami in terms of Dana, generosity. They are very generous in the lifetime. And it's only Prasivali that can compare to the Buddha only, not other Arahant, right? In terms of, that's why we Buddhists, we all like to venerate Prasivali because of his good quality and generosity. And Prasivali, if we were to look at it in life, the same thing. The accumulation of our actions, all these skillful actions in terms of Dana, it's just like dripping of water into a, what we call that, container. All this goodness that we have accumulated or we have done so far is just a dripping of water. And sometimes we stop or we get demoralized that we don't want to do because why? We hear something, we get disheartened, blah, blah, blah. And we are so emotionally affected by what we hear, which that shouldn't be the case. Because why? Because when we want to do something good, our mind must have what we call Cetana. Cetana is what? Intentions. ตั้งใจ, that means intended. We must, okay, I want to do goodness. And we just do. Regardless of what people say, we don't care. Because we are not going to say that, something must be in line with what I think, then I will go. Then you are wrong. When we do something good, we must take the Buddha Dhamma, the Dhamma first. We don't take the thinking of certain individual or the thoughts of certain individual, which is not fair. Because why? The thought of the thinking of certain individual sometimes is not in line with Dhamma. It's full of defilement, full of pride, full of pity, full of self-deceit. You see? So we shouldn't follow this kind of thinking. We follow something good. When the Buddha said accumulation of Dana shouldn't be discriminated. That means we don't discriminate whether what kind of monk. So long they are monk, they uphold the Vinaya, they practice well, we do Dana, right? So long Dharma is upheld in that place, we support. Because we are supporting Buddhism at large, as a whole. We're not supporting an individual. No, we're supporting the goodness of Dharma. Because in a foreign land like Australia, we can't be exclusive. We must be inclusive. Inclusive, that means we must be able to absorb, accept, and blend into the nature of the society. And what kind of society are we staying in Australia? It's an inclusive, it's a mixed culture, a diversity of many cultures. So by being inclusive, we are actually becoming very, very interesting and a very, what we call a vibrant kind of society in Buddhism, that we have all walks of life, all kinds of culture coming together. And that's to show how Buddhism can unify people through peace, harmony, inclusive, non-discrimination, non-prejudice. These are the kind of value we want to propagate. Because why? Because the Buddha Dharma doesn't design to suit a certain individual. The Buddha Dharma is to suit all human mind that has pain, human mind that is lost, human mind that's full of suffering, right? Human mind that don't know how to perform generosity, they have a place to go. Human mind that lack of precept, restraint, they have the precept, they have the teaching of Buddha to listen to practice, and to put into their daily life. And this is what benefited we human. That is why the Buddha's teaching is very inclusive, right? For all human mind. human being, regardless of your race, of your language, or where you come from. Because we human beings, you have a mouth, everybody have a mouth. You have a stomach, every human being got a stomach. They also know what to eat, can feel hungry. They also have a feeling. We are the same, we just are different in language. They're different in language, culture, everything. But it is inclusive. That's why the Buddha Dhamma is pointing to human mind. Remember, if we are able to adjust our mental state to be inclusive into where we are, then we will progress. Progress in one way, in our mind. Then we won't be the kind of very judgmental or very exclusive. Exclusive means what? You exclude other people, only my group of people. That's wrong. You see, if the Buddha were to be alive, how the Buddha will look at things, the more the merrier. And this is what Buddhism is all about. The goodness is just like water. Water is for all human beings to consume. Food is for all human beings. Likewise, the Buddha Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha, is for mankind. So it will be a food for thought for sharing, for you to contemplate on this issue. And the monk will give the blessing. You see, most of the time, we spend our life very carelessly. We have this healthy body with a healthy heart that is pumping, and to make our body to be able to breathe by itself and to live on as a healthy human beings. But sometimes we may find that we are disheartened, or we don't have the courage, don't have the power of the courage. We are disheartened. We think of doing certain thing and sort of like battery flat like that, no strength, no vigor. The heart got no strength. And what is the reason? The reason is because we never exercise restraint. We never want to practice meditations. If you were to notice every time you meditate, the base of your heart, you observe the base of your heart. That means at the solar plexus, in between your sternal bone down that part, just below the chest. You will feel, when you meditate, you feel that it's very uncomfortable. Why? Because you lack no strength. You meditate and you just observe and your whole body bend down. But if you were to maintain mindfulness, right, and repeat the word putto at that base, putto, and let the breathing go smoothly by itself. And you can see the evolutions of the thoughts surfacing, liking, disliking, why should I meditate, blah, blah, blah. And you disregard all this kind of thinking. You just maintain putto, and remember to having contact, to be aware the contact point, the base of your heart, just contact. Keep awareing of that part. And slowly you find yourself getting more and more ground. When they say getting more and more ground, it means your mindfulness start to grow. And you start to be aware, more sharper and sharper, right? Your body start to straighten up, and then your mind start to be lighter, brighter. Slowly, thoughts start to get lesser. And you see how these things interact each other, how your mind, your mental state start to change from a very drowsy, dull mental state to become a more alert, more aware state of mind has waken up within yourself. And you slowly, as you sit longer. Do put in more effort, but watch inside, don't watch outside. Watch inside. Right? Putto, and you see how this mind gathers its strength. The strength of sati, mindfulness, the strength of samadhi, being able to focus on the object precisely, continuously, without break, from half hour to 1 hour to 2 hours, 3 hours, and the more you do it, the more powerful, the more mindfulness, awareness will grow, right? And this is how we say the mind can establish or find a base of reference for yourself. Right? Every time you want to do anything, just take a deep breath. Fop, there you are. Pam! You hit at the right, just a charger. You know where to charge your mind, where to anchor your mind, where to refer your mind state. Instead of letting it running wildly on external object, you have a point of reference very firmly. You know where to get it. Right? And it takes practice. This is very important. You may look tired, but you can just go into that state and that's it. For a few minutes and up, and you have the strength again. Your body may be tired, but the power of the mind is very strong. The sati, the mindfulness that can push you on and on and on and on. Just like when we monks go to the forest, we have the least food. But how come we can complete so long walk? Because every time when the body is tired, we just sit and meditate. Go into a state of samadhi for 2-3 hours and that's it. And we drop, bam, we go again. 4, 5, 6 hours, we just walk, no problem. And going again, up again, go. This is how we train. This is how we exercise the mind in a more skillful manners. And in this kind of situation we are in, we are using work, external work, and we do it wisely and mindfully. Each and individual got to in charge of their own mind state. And this is very important because when living in a group or community of people, when you start to talk, you see, there bound to be problem because with the contradictions of views. And this is normal because why? There is to check. We do the self-check. When you have this kind of self-check, then we will know how to react in future and how to place, when to shut up, when to talk, we will know. Right, this is very important. And if you don't know, then we'll be in trouble. We invite a lot of trouble to ourselves. And be careful, right? Life is not what you think. So blissful. Things will be getting harder, till be getting more harder to come by. Right? A lot of things has been restricted. And because of the turmoil of the world and the karma of the world. So we make the full use of what we have now to the fullest to establish goodness within ourselves. And that will be the sharing for today. Most of the time, we like to pick fault when there's certain uncertainty in our life that happens or certain thing that not along with our wishes happen. We used to blame other people. We used to point the finger because of this fella, because of that fella, because of what she said. We say, no, it's no. It's you. Who wants you to be so stupid? So do you have an eyes to see? Do you have an ear to see? Do you have a mind to think what is right and what is wrong? We have, but most of the time, we think the wrong thing. Because why? We think wrongly. We think because thing is not in line with our wishes. So thing is not in line with our wishes, even though it's defilements, not right, we will still feel that, should be this way or should be that way. Even it's wrong, never mind. Because why? I like it. That shouldn't be the case. And this is how the dukkha, we say dukkha, suffering arises because of that. But if on the other hand, if you use the Buddha Dhamma, the Dhamma of the Buddha, I always used to say, as a measuring tape, measuring ruler to measure, is this in line with the Buddha teaching? Is it in line with the precept? Is this in line with the Dhamma? Why? We throw question and then we got the answer why. Then we will know how to turn the whole situation to our advantage, regardless of what kind of situation we are in. In terms of relationship, in terms of work, instead of dealing with problem, anything. So we must set this thing right in our mind. You see, the righteousness must be upheld. And this is Dhamma. The Dhamma of the Buddha There's no say, this Dhamma is for these people or that for... No. The Buddha Dhamma is for people who want to seek happiness. All human beings, all got suffering in their mind. They suffer because of greed, hatred, delusion, unknowingness, ignorance. That's why we suffer. We suffer because we commit so many unwholesome mistakes because of ignorance, not knowing the truth of the suffering. And we start to make a lot of detrimental comment, a lot of wrongdoing. And who commit all this karma in the end? The individual, not you or not her, but as a human being, right? Because we have this liking, disliking, this is why we get trapped. Because, he's my friend, even wrong also right. Or because he's a Thai, so Thai always right. The other people always wrong. This is not right. The Buddha's teaching point at the heart of human being. It's not whether you're Thai or any, no. We cannot sabotage the Buddha's teaching, and it's karma, very heavy karma. Intentional lie, intentional kind of accusations. It's very heavy karma, So be careful when we're dealing with things. You see, you look at the Buddha image sitting here. We must train. Something like that. Don't make wrong comment and then create wrong karma for yourself. In the end, you regret. When you go down to hell, the king of the hell will ask you, is it true? You say this, If you say not true, it's recorded. You don't worry. There's always a fairness of the nature. We call it karma. Everything we do, we must believe in karma. Remember, don't worry. Never submit to the wrongdoing. Never submit to someone who possess so-called authority. Never. Always uphold the Dhamma, because the Buddha's teaching can be only prosperous in whatever place we go if we uphold the Dhamma. The Dhamma will protect you, not the authority of the world. No. We always remember, you do good, the goodness, like the Buddha said, you do good, you protect the Dhamma will protect you. Right? It has been proven so many times. We have seen the truth revealing itself. And that gives us a confidence that, yes, you must preserve the right teaching of Buddha, the righteousness of the world, then this real thing will happen. Right? Not citing these people, citing that people, or citing people got money, this one poor people, we don't know. Or following gossiping on what people gossip, we're not going to follow. We want to make the place, a place of worship. A place of worship is a place of purity. A place to train to be pure. To be pure in your thinking, your speech, and your behavior. Right? A lot of people, they are not like that. They come with ulterior motive, thinking this and thinking, why? It's very detrimental. So, to prevent any wrong, to remember, I want to emphasize the karma of individual. No one asks you to do. You do yourself. You do good, good will be bestowed upon you. If you do bad, sorry. No such thing as that, I do bad, I want to be, the badness cannot be formed on me. No, it will come. But if the badness will still be formed on you, but if you start to change, then goodness will reveal. Right? And that will be the sharing for today.รับพรเนาะ You see, most of the time, we have this kind of thoughts in us. We thought that, everything must have a cause and effect. Everything must have reasoning. Everything must have some, something to support. But most of the time, a certain thing unexpected that happen. Right? It's beyond our explanations. Nobody can tell what kind of karma the individual has committed. Take, for example, one of the devotees of Long Po Ban. He woke up every day 2 o'clock to cook, right? And then after that cooking, he got to drive another 1.5 hours to be in time to reach the temple before 7:30 to feed the monk. So one occasion, right, while driving, he was met with accident and he passed away. So a lot of people have this misconception. Why doing good and yet we must suffer this kind of fate? Does doing good don't reap any result? And a lot of people also have this kind of thinking. Why those bad people do so much bad thing and yet they can, run away with all the badness and they are so rich, they are so, powerful. But let me remind one thing. Because these people, they have good karma to support them in this lifetime. And the power of the good karma still exists. So this bad karma that they do, it doesn't reap result now. But you don't worry, karma is karma. When the power of the good karma been used up, then it pay up time. Like certain people, at one stage of their life, things just don't know what happened, just go haywire. This is what happened. And they always get disheartened of doing so much goodness in their life, all the while performing goodness. And what happened? How come his life turned upside down? And that is the time where the defilement will creep in to whisper to your ear, no more goodness, all the bullshit, I got karma. And you go and make believe, right? And a lot of people, they lose the faith. And it's happening everywhere, to every religion, because they want things to happen according to their wishes. Then they say that, very good, very good. If not according to their wishes, then they say that, is there a thing so-called karma? Yes. And it takes time for a person to understand this kind of Dhamma, what we call Kamma, because it's not easy to perceive, not easy to understand. Only people who has been practicing Buddhism, who go to temple, but they never perform. They never listen to Dhamma talk, no one to explain to them. And they are very happy what they're doing and they just go back. And sometimes in their life, something happened, bam! They can't take it, they can't accept the fact that this thing is happening to us. All this kind of unwholesome thing that happened to them. But what you have done in the past, you can't remember. So this thing is reaping result now. So who to blame? That's why in this lifetime, if we can perform goodness in terms of Dana, Sila, Bhavana, we try our best, because you can be very sure you're going to come back again because of our practice cannot attain Sotapannahood, Sikatakammihood, Anagami or Arahant. So if that's the case, you will be coming back, you jolly well perform a lot of goodness, because when you come back, at the very least, you got something to hold on to, right? You have all the 4 requisites like now, or even better. Everything will be better, because when a person is dead, the path they are traveling before your rebirth, you can only have all this goodness to hold on to and nothing else, because everything that you possess, you can't bring along. Because when the mind stops, everything stops. Feeling also stops. Body stop breathing. Feelings stop. And your memory, everything will freeze. And what you left is this knowing, like what you're sitting now, listening now, this mind state. And you will leave the body and up to your vibhaka karma to bring you. But if we are a person who develop a lot of generosity, develop sila, train ourselves in a lot of restraint, and do a lot of chanting, meditations, in one split moment, anything happen, we just focus into the mind. The mind will gather very fast in samadhi, and some even better. They focus in brightness and bang, just like a spotlight, brightness will brings you. And the path will be, you don't have to worry, it'll be a good path. So we are not wishing, but because of the cultivation of our daily practice, whether you demand or you never demand, you have planted this seed, and definitely the seed will reap the result into a tree, into fruitations, and you will taste your own fruits of the goodness that you have accumulated, right? So this one is for you to reflect on it, right? For all the goodness they've done, and the monk will do the blessing now. You see a lot of people, they ever ask me, hey, Ajahn Keng, which is the best, which is the more best place you stay, that is the best, or you feel comfortable, blah, 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 this and that. But if you were to contemplate, think about the whole thing, is that a place that really comfortable and good? You see, if you were to contemplate the minute before we are born, we got to crouch our body and stay put, immovable, in our mother's womb for 9 months. Can you imagine 9 months? Luckily, that 9 months still don't know anything. Only, the vinyana, the consciousness can only exert certain forces that make the mother discomfort, that's all. And when we are born, you see any baby laugh or not? No, every baby cry because the doctor will smack the lumbago part of the baby to make him breathe. So the minute he breathes, he got to cry. And as we advance in our age, as time to come by, we contemplate the process of our whole life until now. Do we really say that, I really lead a very happy lifestyle? No, not true. You look at the body we are in. Last time, we don't have grey hair, we don't have white hair, we don't have bald-headed. Last time our skin was firm, very young, very powerful. Now you see what happened now. Everything is changing color, right? We got to pick up makeup in order to look better a bit, and after we wash away the makeup, and still you can see all this crumpy skin that we have. And that shows signs of the changing of our lifespan as a human being that we're living. And we don't get disheartened. Because why? Because we always have this, what we call this goodness to cultivate, the Buddha's teaching. Like in terms of Dana, Sila and Bhavana. We cultivate all this goodness as much as possible as time permit, occasion permit. Because why? So we won't regret later. A lot of people that have visited in the hospital, I always see people, if I have time, if I should have known earlier, I will go temple, blah, blah, blah. And inside my heart, I never say, because I don't want to hurt the patient. Yes, but you know from start. You know Joliwa from start. It's just that you're too attached, too indulgence to certain comfort, attachment to comfort, attachment to the sensory enjoyments. And that really leads people astray, especially in this present era we are living in. Like I said just last time, we don't have handphone, we own a simple phone, and we can communicate. Like we got to, not so convenient nowadays. And nowadays we are so sophisticated, so we call smartphone. And people are grumbling, the Wi-Fi too slow cannot send this, cannot send that. This what they call app is no good got to upgrade blah blah blah. And you see how this human mind react to things and never say that we use what we have and try to make good and be happy what we have. And because we are not happy what we already have, we want to make good. We keep changing things, and that's why we are slave. We become a slave to all these material things, all this lifetime until the day we die. Then we say that, we think it back later, what have I done all this while? Nothing, only certain goodness, yes, dana, sila, and the mind is always on the run, catch-22, looking for more, and it's very, very stressful. Lots of dukkha. That's why we are here, we are lucky. Why? Because you come to the temple, you come to the monastery. The monk that take your food, they doesn't only just take the food and say good thing to you. They have something to share. Words of advice, words of cautious, words to remind us about life. That is uncertain, is changing. So never take things lightly, never take things for granted. We must appreciate life that we have now. We must appreciate what we are now, and we must be contented with what we have now and try to make good of whatever we have now. And because of this present, the problem we are facing, the whole world pandemic, right? A lot of things is not according to our wishes, and you can see how frustration aroused within our own mind. And who is the one who suffered? We ourselves, not other people. The first one to suffer is we ourselves. When we get angry, who suffered first? We ourselves. So remember the Buddha's teaching is not to teach other people, Look at yourself. Find the happiness within yourself. Be contented, being grateful, and have a lot of gratitude to our parents for bringing us into this life span as a human being, right? To have this good karma together and try to make good use of what we are now. And that will be the sharing for today. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang Eva beva nito tina petana upakapatit Ichita badita tumha kipameva samichatu sape purentu sankapa Chanto panaraso yatha manicho diraso yatha Tiya vivanjandu samaro govina saduma devava vandarayo sukhi digayo gobhava viva Tanasile sanicang buddha Vajayino cakaro dhamma Tanti ayuhano sukhang Alaya samipade kapete vasa parita jatiyo Sila vadeta mochetava sanyate brahmacharino Yadata devata sunta sadakina madese Tapucita pujayanti marita manayatina Tatonang anukampanti mata putava rasang Dewata nukampito poso satabarani pasati Bhavatu sabhamanggalang rakadosa badewata Sabba buddha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabhamanggalang rakadosa badewata Sabba dhamma nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabhamanggalang rakadosa badewata Sabba sangha nubhavena sada soti Bhavantu te